One of my most popular pieces is if I was starting an MSP today. And one of the things I focused on was the idea of focusing on a vertical and all the technology in it. And I found someone who's done that. Caden Braly joins me, who focuses on the insurance space on this bonus episode of The Business of Tech. Eureka Process is now a Gazinta company. Eureka Process, the consulting team focused on you streamlining your MSP, is now part of Gazinta. The SaaS company focused on empathy and getting shit done quickly and correctly. What does that mean? First, Gazinta Mobius customers will get even better customer support for their products. The Eureka team will be looking at ways to deliver better customer support and give their thoughts on how to make the products better. It also means that you can come to Gazinta for more of your consulting needs when you want to own a business, not be owned by your business. Process Consulting will give you the freedom you need. Visit gazinta.com/Eureka to learn more. Caden, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
So I want to start with the basics. So your firm let's get this all right. It's an insurance broker who then sells technology services to other brokers. Give me a little bit of insight into what the organization is.
Yeah, so AgentsTech, in short, is a technology consulting firm for independent insurance brokers. We backstory, make it as brief as I can. We found out that a lot of insurance brokers all across the country and even into Canada, Europe, Asia, all across the world really, we realized that all of the software and technologies that they were using were either really outdated or they weren't using any at all. So it made kind of put a bad rep on the insurance industry as a whole because it was so difficult to do business with independent insurance brokers. The captive agents like State Farm, Farmers, Allstate, where they sell, that's all they sell. They don't sell anything else. They're not independent. It's really easy to do business with them because they have a multi-billion-dollar corporation behind them to help give them the softwares they need. But specifically on the independent side, independent insurance brokerage side, they are totally left up to their own revenue to buy, purchase softwares and technologies that they need. So we saw that that was a really big issue, and within our current agency that I work for, we have onboarded a lot of insurance technologies up front so that, and we realize, hey, this is really helping us. We've really increased our revenue. We've really decreased our expenses, even though we've purchased these softwares. And so we found that a lot of insurance agents were in desperate need of help because they didn't even know where to start. So that's kind of the short backstory.
Gotcha. So help me understand a little bit. You used the phrase when we were talking before and in our emails, Insurtech. Like, talk to me what kind of I've heard fintech, I've heard health tech, but define Insurtech for me.
Yeah, there is not really, just like fintech, health tech, there's not really a clear definition of what it actually is. I just use it as an overarching term for anything that helps property and casualty insurance, which is just home, auto, commercial, normal commercial insurance, or life or health insurance companies or brokers, anyone in that industry, help them do business easier or help them to bring in more revenue. So, I mean, it's all across the board. The most popular in the insurtech space are the companies that have the legacy systems that have been around for years and years and years are AMS systems, which that's called an agency management system for the insurance space. If you're in the insurance space, you know exactly what that is. But for people that don't, that's basically a back-end system that helps manage all of the in-depth insurance processes for agents. So that could be managing the billing for the customers that are coming in the door or that are already customers. That could be generating a certificate of insurance, which if you're any business across in the entire United States, you know what a certificate of insurance is because you probably had to give one to some company that you're doing business with. It has to do with really insurance specific tasks. Then there's also the standard CRM. customer relationship manager, that could be Salesforce, that could be HubSpot, that could be Pipedrive, or there's even more that are more like insurance specific CRMs, such as one that we use called Agency Zoom, that is very easy to use, but it's also very helpful. So those are the major ones. And then in Insurtech, we have the peripheral softwares, which help do maybe one or two specific tasks. So for example, there's a company that we work with called Loss Run Pro. Loss Run Pro, all they do is help generate loss runs, which are it's like a certified claims history that insurance carriers need whenever you're going through the insurance quoting process. And in the past, it was so difficult to do. Like it was minimum 2 to 4 week process to get the loss runs back. And for an insurance agent, when time is money, and I need those loss runs to be able to even start my job, sometimes it put a damper on situations of sales situations. And so this company, they basically go in and help generate those within 3 to 4 days. So it is a very easy situation for them to that they've helped us out with. So that's kind of the whole situation. There's a ton more about InsurTech available, but that's kind of the broad overview.
Okay, so let's break this down. I'm an independent insurance agent in this conversation then,
Right.
and I'm talking to you to explore services. What's the engagement look like? Like, what are you looking to engage me to? What problems are you solving for me?
Right. So the majority of what we do within Agents Tech is actually help connect them with the softwares or the technology, or we even do some like marketing company connection with other companies to help them figure out, okay, what are your really big issues within your agency? Is it, and a lot of them are just normal business issues that everyone has, no matter if you're in insurance or not. So it could be, hey, we're having trouble keeping up, with our payroll. We're having trouble with um, bringing leads in the door. We're having trouble with closing leads. We're having trouble with whatever it could be. We take those questions from like a business consulting standpoint, then we go to the market and find the technologies that are going to help solve those problems. Now that is like 25% of our job. The other 75% of our job and where we make our money as a consulting firm is the actual implementation, integration, and training on those softwares. So implementation, that is the admin process. That's the, hey, let's set up the meeting with the company. Let's get this onboarded within your current systems, and let's get the process started. Then there's the integration side, which is how do we get all of these softwares that you have to talk to each other? In the insurance space, it is not like, and for all of the listeners out there who are in different industries in the tech side of business, the API integrations with some of these softwares are not good. Meaning, in all of the industries, and I will say in the world, because I've been in other sides of tech, it is the worst integration possible with all different types of technology. So you may have one company that does one specific thing and they say, we don't want to integrate with your CRM, like with Salesforce. Salesforce integrates with almost every single thing that you can think of. These softwares do not want to do that. Don't know why. They just don't want to do it. So we try to help with Zapier integrations to help get all of those softwares to connect with each other. And then we also have third parties that we can hire as well to do more in-depth analysis about the integration. And the last part is the actual training. A lot of these InsurTech software companies, they do a couple of trainings up front, but in reality, they don't like to do training. It's non-revenue producing for them, so they do a little bit and then they kind of drop off. Some of them are actually really good at training over the long run, some of them are not. So what we do is we come in and actually train the individual employees on the softwares, because if we don't, they're not going to get good employee adoption, and eventually they're not going to see the value of that software because no one's using it in their company. So that's kind of where we come in to really help them, other than just connecting them with a company that's going to solve their problems.
So, how much of the is it project-based work, and how much of that is ongoing engagements, like kind of a monthly contractual type engagements with your customer base?
Yeah, so with our customer base, we have a 4 month minimum contract to start out. That is because from what we have seen, it's a long process to onboard some of these technologies, depending on how big the company is. If we're working with a brokerage that has 30 to 40 employees, just the implementation process of 2 to 3 softwares could be a whole month long, because everyone has to have a license for it. Everyone has to make sure that it's downloaded on their computers, things like that. That's a process in itself. And then the rest of that is the implementation, integration, and training. But then after the fact, we do have a couple of customers that stay on as a monthly retainer for any sort of anything you could think of when it comes to technology. They call me and said, "Hey, Caden, we need another training on this because we're not seeing good results from it." Or they may say, "Hey, we have another problem that came up. Can you help us find another software?" We actually have a company in Florida that we're talking to right now that they actually asked me, said, "Hey, we know the contract's 4 months up front, but can you stay on for the next 12 months with us for some sort of retainer, because we know just based off of their employee base and what they're needing to be done, it's going to take longer." And we said, "Of course, yes, we'll stay on." So what we see right now is that about 40 to 50% of our customers stay on past the 4 month contract just because of the need that they have, or they need more help longer than just 4 months.
But your unit of billing measure, just to really break it down, is hourly, right? So you're billing by hours, not by people or tech or project or fixed fee. It's just you bill for the time spent.
We bill based off of the number of employees that you have, and then after that, it's a monthly retainer, just fixed fee monthly retainer.
Okay, so quick math. I'm a 30-person independent shop. I come to you. There's a per unit cost. I buy my 4 month block based on the number of people I have, and then ongoing, it's the retainer is based purely on the number of people, right? So it's sort of per user billing.
Yeah, so let's just say right now, if you had 30 people in your organization, right now that 4 month block would be about, yeah, you're looking at about eight to $10,000 for that 4 month block, and then every month after that is going to be anywhere from 400 to 500 a month for however long you need, and that's a month to month retainer. So if you stay on for 3 months after the initial contract, the next month you can cancel if you don't feel that there's a need.
Okay, got it. So what I'm trying to also then understand, so your people are spending most of your time in the insurance software level. Are they spending a lot of time on networking issues, desktop repair? How does that stuff work for a customer that's kind of got a messy environment?
Yeah, so we've had that situation before, and we do partner with an IT services, managed service MSP that can help. We have 4 or 5 available. A couple of them are insurance specific, so all they do all day long is insurance companies, insurance carriers, brokerage, MSP services. In the other sense, we do have other companies that maybe they do insurance, but they also do financial services, or some of them have like a mortgage company that's also within their insurance agency. And those are the ones that we refer out to maybe the larger, more well-known, um, MSPs. It just depends on the individual, but that is actually a very common ask, just depending on the brokerage that we work with.
Gotcha. So you wouldn't describe yourself as an MSP then, would you?
No, I would not. I would describe us as a wholesale consultant. That's what I would say, because we are not the only services that our company is providing is integration help and training, and then the implementation. So imagine like we hold their hand through the whole process of taking their company into the 21st century. Um, if we, for example, were very big on knowing what our strengths are, knowing what our weaknesses are, if we tried to become an MSP, we would not do well, because we also have to train on the software, using the softwares, and all these other things. So it's kind of like, we have a specialty within our consulting firm. MSPs have a specialty in, IT services and all the other things. So we're really kind of like focused on, okay, what is their bubble? What are they good at? That's what we're going to let them do, that because they can charge a lot less because they've specialized, and their timeline of services is way cheaper and way more efficient than we could do.
And talk to me a little bit about the way you're going to market. It sounds like you're kind of going anywhere in the United States. Is that a fair assessment? How do you, where are you looking for customers?
Yeah, so we have up front, we did when we started the company, we did what we call our trial cold calling, which if you cold call, you can get a very, very good sense of who are the people that are interested and who are not interested. We found out that cold calling people, just random insurance agencies in random cities, is not going to work very well. A lot of people have trouble actually knowing what we do because it doesn't really make sense in their mind. What we did find is that our target market is insurance brokerages that are already kind of shown a need or shown a desire to make their agency more digital, to digitize their agency. So those people, they said, hey, yeah, we really want to do this, but we don't know where to go. Those are our best customers, the ones that we have seen so much growth. It's a desire. We've called other insurance agents that were massive. Maybe their revenue is in the 50 to 100 million a year, and they have shown no desire because they like where they're at, right? They like, oh yeah, I'm bringing in a ton of money, it's whatever. But what they don't know is that if they don't digitize in the next couple of years, they're going to see a massive decrease in their revenue because the agents that have digitized, that do use softwares that can bring in more revenue, that can decrease their expenses and increase their efficiency, they're going to get beat out when it comes to the competition of insurance, because right now insurance is the most competitive it has ever been since the foundation of insurance back in the 16 and 1700s. So, right, we have a very, very interesting market going on right now of the agencies that show that they want to step into the 21st century and want to make their company survive long term. They're the ones that are going to shine, that are going to show massive increases in revenue and massive increases of market share going forward.
And how much is e-commerce driving what you're doing? Is that a component of what you're doing and offering?
It is a little bit in terms of people are starting to offer insurance quotes online more. In the insurance world, e-commerce, I use it lightly because there is still um, a lot of regulations that you have to abide by, and a lot of even morals that you have to abide by. So let's just say you have a brokerage that's offering insurance online, or they're offering to give quotes. You go to a website, you go and you type in all your information, it spits out a quote for you. Well, what the customer doesn't know is that in order to actually get a firm quote that you can purchase, that like you can put your credit card information in and you are good to go, you actually have to run a credit report. You have to run what's called an insurance score report. You have to run a DMV or a motor vehicle report and a bunch of other things that sometimes, depending on the state that you're in, is not legally allowed to be run unless you have certain permits and follow certain laws. So what we're seeing in the e-commerce world is a lot of agents are not willing to give online quotes because they don't want to do like a bait and switch with their customers. So let's just say I go to this is just a fake company, www.insurancecompany.com, right? I go in, they're an independent brokerage. I'm in Dallas, Texas. Let's just say they're based in Dallas, Texas. They go in, customer goes in, I want to fill out a quote for them, but they say, hey, yeah, we'll spit you out just a general quote, right? And it's great price, right? Say it's like $500 to $600 less than what they're currently paying. Well, that's great. Well, let's just say that customer has two wrecks, a ticket, and a lower than 600 credit score. Well, when they call in, or that agent calls in to firm up the quote, that's a very big buzzword in the insurance industry. When they call in to firm up that quote, they're going to be very dissatisfied when their insurance quote that they got is not actually $500 less than what they're paying. It's $1,000 more than what they were paying. So a lot of agents are actually kind of straying away from the e-commerce side of insurance because it is, to an extent, a little immoral. Now, you can still go to progressive.com, allstate.com, get a quote that's ready to go. Those are massive multi-billion dollar companies that have perfected their e-commerce website. But if you want to go to an independent brokerage that can shop you with 30, 40, 100 carriers, it's more of a relationship-based sell than just go online, get your quote, pay for it, and call it a day.
Gotcha. So what's next for the organization? What are you working on as the next direction?
Yeah, for us, we are right now we are trying to get in touch with insurance aggregators, which an aggregator is a group of insurance companies that come together to negotiate commissions for the insurance carriers that they sell, the products that they sell to customers. They tend to be a large group of people that are really focused on growing their business, because you don't join one unless you do want to grow your business, which those we found are our key customers or our key prospects to go after, because as I said earlier, they've shown that we do want to grow. We aren't going to just wait around to sell and get out and retire and go play golf all day. They are truly trying to grow their business. So we're reaching out to those aggregators. We're also reaching out to different consultants that maybe do only business consulting but not tech consulting, because obviously they're helping customers that are desiring to grow their business as well. So that's kind of our next step. And then right now we're always looking for different tech companies to partner with, whether they're in the Insurtech industry or not. A lot of people think, oh, all we do is sell Insurtech, or all we do is connect people with Insurtech. Well, it's like, well, we have companies like BombBomb, which does like video recordings for customers. They're not Insurtech. We have a lot of other softwares, payment providers, and things like that we're always looking. So that's kind of our next step, is looking for the technologies, maybe the startup companies that are going to revolutionize different industries.
Well, Caden, this has been fascinating to learn more about the business. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Are you and your clients tired of the time-consuming ticket tennis of coordinating meetings and help desk calls? Wouldn't it be better to automate this process with a tool that connects directly to ConnectWise Manage or Autotask? TimeZest offers scheduling automation that gives you complete control of your schedule and eliminates the hassle of calendar ping pong. As the only service designed specifically for MSPs, it integrates into your workflow and makes scheduling appointments easy on you and your clients. Plus, you can try TimeZest for free. Visit timezest.com/MSPradio and use the code MSPradio to get 10% off your first year of TimeZest. Thanks for your time and attention. Time is a finite resource, and I really value you giving me some of yours. If you like this video, you can let me know with a like of the video, and even more valuable, hitting the subscription button. My content is all free, and I use metrics like subscriptions to pay the bills, so it has real value. The content here is produced under ethics guidelines posted at businessof.tech. If you're interested in more content like this, you can get access to content early via our Patreon at patreon.com/MSPradio. It's our give what you want model, where you set the value of what you think the content is worth. If you like this podcast, you can catch it daily as the 5-minute news and commentary show, The Business of Tech, available on all your favorite podcatchers with links at businessof.tech. Just hit that big blue button to subscribe. Again, thank you for taking time out of your day to listen, and I really value the interaction. If you want to say something in the comments, I do respond and watch all that, and I look forward to talking to you next time.